right, sweet. Flatline MMA podcast episode number 40. The boys are here. Everyone's favorite, Zach, is on to talk some fights. But before then, listen, a couple announcements. I know we kind of veered away from it from the last couple weeks here. But listen, CBD needs. Come to your boys. Sponsored by CBD Medic. Click the link below. And then just released today, we got some Flatline merch on deck. We're merch gods now. Go buy some. We'll put the link in the bio below. Take a look at Zach's shirt. That's just one of the samples we got going. We got t-shirts. We got sweatshirts. We got crew necks. We got tanks. We got mugs. We got masks. We got everything you guys can think of. Click the link below to our Teespring account. Go order some merch. Go support the Flatline boys and the community here. Boys, we got a couple fights that we need to talk about. We had a friggin' busy-ass week in the MMA world. We started kind of the whole Fight Night on Fight Island. So let's just start off with last Wednesday's kind of main event. I feel like that's the only one we really need to touch upon. So UFC Fight Island #1, Calvin Kattar taking on Dan Ige. I think everyone kind of thought this fight would be, exactly how it went out to be. It was going to be a war. I think Calvin was a big favorite in this one, but everyone knows how tough Ige is. Obviously coming off of a win of Edson Barbosa, that's a very, tough task to do. While it was controversial and the nod could have went to Edson, Ige showed his heart in there, and obviously he came out with the W. But Kattar, Ige, Kattar coming out with the unanimous decision win. Let's just get right into it because obviously Calvin Kattar, our hometown boy, New England Cartel, got it done in 5 rounds. What'd you guys think of the fight?
It was a fun fight to watch. Kattar's boxing is so crisp. I don't know. Like, his technique is just so fun to watch in any fight. It was just that much funner watching him go at it with Ige, someone who's super game. But yeah, I think it took Kattar like a little bit to warm up in that first round. He kind of turned it on towards the end of the first round, and I think for the most part from there on, it was his fight, even though Ige had his moments, but I think Kattar controlled that fight pretty much. He kept up a good pace throughout the entire time too, which was pretty impressive to see.
Yeah, did you, personally for me, I know, Zach, I think you looked at it differently. Did you score it 4-1, Kev?
Yeah, I think, I forget exactly what round I think I gave to Ige. I think maybe the second round.
Yeah, it was 2.
Yeah, I think it was pretty even the second round. But yeah, I gave the first and, 3rd through 5th to Kattar. Just based on damage, on output. I think Ige kind of slowed down towards the end of the fight too. He wasn't really able to find his range too well too. Kattar did pretty good at keeping him at a distance, and Ige was kind of charging in. But yeah, it was an awesome performance by Kattar, and hopefully, he just fought the number 10. Hopefully he can get someone, top 4 in his next fight.
Yeah, exactly. Zach, what'd you think? I know you kind of had it. I think you had
I had it a little bit closer. I had it 3-2. I think it was either the first and second or the second and third Ige. I mean, Ige looked good, man. He's got some slick counter punches too. Mm-hmm. And he's got some good combinations to the body. But the thing that was crazy to me is you don't realize how freaking long Kattar's arms are till he was literally standing. I think it was the end of the first round. He's standing up in Ige's guard, and he's able to punch him in the face.
Yeah,
because his legs are just crazy. But yeah, I was really impressed with Kattar. I definitely say he won the fight, and he looked really good, man. I think the only thing he had a couple good body shots and he ate some leg kicks, but otherwise he kept pressure up and he kept Ige for the most part on the end of his range. So looked good, man.
Yeah,
his takedown defense was pretty impressive too.
Yeah, that's it.
He was able. I don't know how many takedown attempts there were, but I know there was at least 2 that he fought off pretty good.
I think he fought off. I think he had like almost 100. I think he had 100%. He fought off like 7 takedown attempts.
Yeah, I believe it was 7 or 9. I think he went 0 for 7 or something like that. Which I think that was the biggest thing coming into is everyone just sees, Kattar's boxing and they see how superior he is. But I think people were wondering what would happen if it went to the ground. I think he proved that his takedown defense is pretty good from a guy, Dan Ige, who I think we all can agree has pretty good wrestling here. I don't think anything elite. I'm not going to go in there and say he's an elite wrestler, but we've definitely seen in his other fights take opponents down at will and, kind of do what he wanted. So, but what do you guys think? Dan Ige, man, he's tough as nails. He took some of Calvin's best shots. They were showing some of the kind of the slow-mos, and I don't think a lot of the featherweights could have taken those punches. So, Dan Ige is as tough as they come. I think he deserves, another big fight after this too. Nothing to knock him. Obviously, the number 11 guy taking on Kattar at number 6. So, Kattar didn't have to take this fight, but obviously he saw something in Ige that I think was gonna, surprise a lot of people and make it the war that it was. I know maybe on the scorecards it didn't say that, but Kattar, obviously, I think Kattar's always had an issue with his nose. Like we saw his nose get busted up at the end of the first, and he had to fight with that adversity for 4 rounds after that. And he was busted up. He even said it afterwards. But I think, Dan Ige is as tough as they come. Calvin said it, Calvin's a finisher, man. He puts people away, and to see it go to decision just shows how tough Ige is. So I expect a pretty big fight for him next too. I don't think that hurt his stock at all. Now, what do you guys think just in terms of the featherweight division right now, right? It seems like we got, obviously Volkanovski coming off that controversial decision over Max Holloway in the rematch. It seems like we got Zabit Yair going to be lined up. It seems like we got Ortega versus
Korean Zombie.
Korean Zombie, yes. So it seems like the featherweight division kind of everyone has a dance partner, which leaves Kattar obviously coming off a big win. Does this set up a fight with him and Max? Does that make sense? Do you think Kattar kind of –
Is Moicano still ranked up there? They would be a rematch, wouldn't it? I know they fought maybe a year, 2 years ago. That'd be a good rematch.
It's actually a very good point because that's Kattar's I guess obviously before Zabit, that's his last loss.
I don't see him on the rankings.
Yeah, I know.
Did he move a weight class?
I don't think so because he –
You go up to lightweight? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, wow. He's not even in the top 15, actually. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, that's weird. Yeah, it looks
crazy.
Like
he had that loss to Aldo, and then he fell off.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he moved up. Maybe he's making some career moves here. But I guess beside that, do you guys like Kattar Max just because those two, don't have fights yet? Or what do you think?
It's a fun fight for sure.
Fun fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're a little biased because, we're from New England and all that. But there's so many, top guys that probably deserve that championship fight. Max isn't going to get it because he just lost to Volkanovski.
Definitely number one contender, though. Number one contender.
Even though I think he won. But the Zabit, Ortega, the Zombie, Yair, Josh Emmett has been looking good.
Emmett, yep.
Frankie Edgar's still up there too. He's ranked number 7. So yeah, it's going to be tough. I would think that would be an awesome fight if you could get Max Holloway, but I don't know. I think he's going to have like another fight, someone maybe even below him, like an Emmett or something like that. Someone else who's on a streak right now.
Do you think, though, he called his shot in the post-fight interview. He said, we got all these featherweights sitting on the sidelines, just tweeting about fighting when I've already fought twice during this quarantine. If I'm Dana White, I'm playing my hot hand, and I'm just going to throw Kattar to Volk because Kattar's active. If Volk wants to get back in there, because I feel like Zabit, Ortega, Zombie, they all need to fight first before the belt. So why not just maybe throw Kattar into a title fight because he's active? I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I feel like it kind of makes sense. All these other guys kind of already have fights signed or, whatever they are, verbal agreed. And then Volk's kind of sitting there without a fight. Max is sitting there without a fight. Kattar might be in the perfect position to get that title shot. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, timing-wise, that actually does make sense because everybody else has already lined up the fight.
Exactly.
Except for does Zabit have a fight? Oh no.
Supposed to be Zabit Yair.
Yeah. Yeah, and that leaves the only person without a fight in the top 6 would be Holloway, and he's not getting that shot anyway. So
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
that could be something. Definitely could be.
Now I guess how does let's just say he does get a fight with Max. We'll just say that. How do you guys think that one plays out? Because that's obviously Max being one of the featherweight goats. We kind of think everyone really thinks that he won that fight, right, against Volk. That's obviously Cater's toughest test. Max is good everywhere. How do you see that fight going if that gets booked?
Yeah, I just see it being a striking match, and I really can't think that there aren't like other fighters that you can compare, Holloway style and Cater style to. I don't know. I think that'd be so much fun. I think that'd be a nice main event.
Oh my God, I would love it. Zach, what do you think about that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I would go with Holloway in that just because I think he's so versatile too. I know it's killing us. Yeah, dude, I would love to see that fight. Let me just say that. And Holloway's just very. I mean, you see how he adapts too. Like you compare the first Volkanovski fight to the second one. He's like you said, he's one of the best featherweights to do it. So I would love to see it, man. I hope that's what they book. It makes sense to me. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Max took a ton of damage in the last fight, so.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think Volk took more damage than Max in that, if anything.
Yeah, he got knocked down twice. He got head kicked.
Yeah, so, I mean, regardless, whatever happens with Cater next, I mean, he's been active during this whole quarantine, you know what I mean? Wherever the UFC told him, he came. He flew halfway across the world to fight in Abu Dhabi. He fought in the 249 card. He's making a name for himself. He's putting, obviously, New England MMA on the map. So it was just so cool seeing him in the main event, man. Like, on Fight Island, like, it was so cool seeing him in the promos and everything being kind of built around him. Obviously, we're biased, like Kev said, but it was friggin' cool. So fired up to see what kind of happens with him next. Like I said, Ige's in for, a big fight next. He proved that he's one of the top guys and he does belong in this division. That's a guy who was coming off like the Contender Series, right? He didn't get the contract right away and he proved himself. And I think he won 6 straight before this fight. So can't take anything away from him. But
Ige would be a fun one for him. Ige versus Josh Emmett.
Yes, that'd be a fun one. Emmett, who's been on a tear too. So I think, there's so many options. Again, featherweight is kind of like lightweight. It's kind of like bantamweight. It's absolutely stacked. So many good fights. Volkanovski's definitely got a long road ahead of him if he wants to continue, with these title defenses because he's got a lot coming at him. So UFC Fight Island #1, super fun with the main event being everything that everyone expected. So perfect. Let's move on to Saturday night's card. We had UFC Fight Island 2. Co-main event. Let's just talk about that one real quick. Although it was quick, we had Jack Hermansson taking on Kelvin Gastelum in a middleweight bout. Not too much to say with this one. Quick heel hook by Hermansson. I don't think anyone expected that. I think I picked Hermansson to win, but not like that. But I think both of you guys expected Calvin to just win on the striking exchanges and knock him out. But I have no idea what happened to Kelvin that night because it was quick. I know he tweeted out he was embarrassed, all this stuff. But what did you guys think about that performance? Although I know it was a weird one, but what did you think?
Yeah, there's not much to go over. He just got caught. That's pretty much the summary of that one. He just got unlucky.
Hermansson's crafty. You think of that slick guillotine. Who was it? He's also a black belt. Oh my God. It was 3 fights ago. Why can't I think of his name?
Hermansson?
Yeah, he had a slick guillotine win over
the Branch?
Yeah, over Branch. I think Branch is actually a black belt too. Slick guillotine. He almost nabbed Souza with the guillotine. He's slick.
You're right.
Slaps on that heel hook in the first minute, and Kelvin got out of like the first attempt, and he just made a quick adjustment and got him on. He couldn't get out of the second one. Impressive.
Yeah. I mean, like you guys obviously like roll in terms of like heel hook. Like, how tough is that to just to like get out of a position like that, especially when it happens like so quick? Is that like how tough is it?
Yeah, they're not like the first minute. Nobody's like really sweaty yet either, so you can get a tight grip.
Yeah, especially like when you're new to jiu-jitsu, like that's like a cheat code. Like if you know heel hooks, then like you go rolling with like some white belts, then you can snatch them up all day. But yeah, they're tough to get out of it. I mean, that's kind of like what who's GSP's jiu-jitsu coach? Donna here. I think he's the one that like really made that popular, like all the heel hooks, leg locks, and all that stuff. Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it didn't look fun to be in, but
yeah, no,
nothing compared to that Ariana Lipsky friggin'
that knee bar. That's it.
Oh my god,
that was insane.
That's I mean, I've never seen that before. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that when you're rolling, but that was vicious. Like, I thought her leg was gonna snap in half.
Yeah, she got herself into a calf slicer, which is more just pain. You're not really gonna break anything or whatever. Yeah. She just peels it off and gets a knee bar. I mean, that was like
brutal.
Yeah, it was like the weirdest series of events. Like I thought she was kind of screwed with that knee with the calf slicer, and then she just peels it off and knee bars her. It was insane.
Dude, the other girl was like just writhing around on the ground after.
I mean, she must have tore something, right? Like, there's no way that she's not injured, right?
I don't think so.
She's gotta have heard something, man. The way she looked after, there's no way it's just like nothing broken.
Oh my god. Yeah, just absolutely vicious. I think she got the $50K bonus for that. Obviously well deserved. Again, to do something like that so crafty on a big stage like that where everyone's watching, she definitely made her name for herself. And just going back to the Hermansson Gastelum fight, I think Hermansson, I guess, where does kind of he go from here? Because obviously that's a big win over, a top guy. Does he kind of go? I know we got Till and Whitaker obviously fighting for, I would think, the number one contender spot to fight, Adesanya, the winner of the Adesanya Costa. Do you think Hermansson takes like the loser of Till and Whitaker? Do you think that makes sense for him going forward, or what do you think?
Was he scheduled against Weidman originally?
Originally, yes, I believe so.
I mean, that would still be an interesting. I mean, they never give Weidman a break, but it'd be a tough matchup for him. But that would be an interesting fight.
Yeah, I mean, because if you're looking at rankings, right? You have who was Uriah Hall? Oh, it was supposed to be Uriah and Yoel is fighting soon, right? They're both fighting. Brunson, you got Edmund Shabazian. I mean, middleweight stacked too, man. It's friggin' a lot of good fights.
Jared Cannonier.
Cannonier doesn't have a fight. Maybe do Hermansson Cannonier. Oh no, did they? I think they already fight. They did. Cannonier TKO'd him. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe run that one back. I don't know, because I think obviously the Till Whitaker fight happening this weekend. That's gonna, that's gonna kind of play out a lot of things for the number one contender spot. So I don't know. I think he's got a couple options too. And then, I mean, Gastelum, he's won 2 of his last 7. I mean, where does he go from here? You can't really look at Gastelum and be like, oh, he's done, whatever. The list of fighters that he's fought, I mean, let's just go through his list here, right? We got Woodley, Marquette, Neil Magny, Hendricks, Tim Kennedy, Vitor Belfort, Chris Weidman, Bisping, Souza, Adesanya, Till, Hermansson. I mean, he's got one of the most impressive resumes that you can have. I mean, he didn't win most of them, but like, where does he go from here? Does he drop down again? Like, is middleweight really not is he too small for the division? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because when I watched that Till fight, I thought that was pretty even.
Yeah,
I thought he was right there in that fight. And then when you look at his like Adesanya fight too, I mean that was That was another pretty good fight, even though, you know, he kind of slipped away from him towards the end where, he gets knocked down 3 times. And I don't know.
He was definitely winning that fight up until I thought the last round, 2 rounds maybe. I would give him.
He knocked Izzy down. He knocked him down.
Yeah, I think he's given Izzy his toughest fight in his career.
Yeah.
In the UFC anyway.
I think middleweight. People are trying to say he should drop to welterweight, and I mean he could definitely make the weight, but he's looked good at middleweight. Even, I mean the only 2 fights where he got finished was Weidman and Hermanson. So he's looked good in all of his middleweight fights. It's not like he's looked like crap.
Yeah.
It's not like he goes up in weight, loses, and looks terrible. He's looked good. I'd say I don't think he should drop back. I think he should stay middleweight.
Oh yeah, there's so many fights for him, so I don't think there's an issue with that. It's obviously, your confidence losing 3 straight. It's definitely tough to get back from. We all know Cody No Love did it, but we just got to see what mindset friggin' Gaslam's in. So I guess we'll kind of see what happens. Hermanson's got some options there too. So obviously we didn't get to see too much in that fight. We just kind of got to see Hermanson's, ground game in action. So. Yeah, not what everyone expected, but still overall happy for Hermanson. He's a good dude. The Joker, man. And let's get to the main event. Flyweight title fight of the world. The vacant flyweight title. This is a rematch. Davison, Figueiredo, you got it. Figueiredo, let's go. Joe Benavidez 2. We all know what happened in the first fight. Figueiredo missed weight. And then knocked out Benavidez. I think there was some controversy. There was maybe an accidental headbutt, whatever it was. So the belt remained vacant. They ran it back. And Figgy with just an absolute dominating performance. We could talk about this one all night. One of the more dominating championship performances I think we've ever seen. He gets the rear naked choke on Joe in round 1 with seconds left. So what'd you guys think about Figgy's performance? Because, I mean, it was basically flawless.
Yeah, it was just a complete beatdown. I mean, he beat him in all aspects. He scored 2 knockdowns, he had a bunch of submission attempts, and he was able to finish him with a choke at the end. Yeah, and he really didn't waste any time either. So I don't know what's next for him, but I don't really see him losing anytime soon with the way he looked the other night.
I think he's only lost to Formiga, right?
Formiga, yep.
Formiga just lost his last fight too. But yeah, he's looked good. Dude, it's crazy to me, dude. He has I was looking at pictures too, in like his post-fight celebration, dude. He doesn't have like an ounce of body fat. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how he makes 125. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's friggin' shredded, man. He's got some power in those hands. I think every time he touched Benavidez, he fell. I mean, you saw it in his face. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be a problem for a while, I think. I know. What I didn't like, you just won the belt, and then he goes and he talks about how he wants to challenge for the 135 belt. Like, I'm so done with these super fights, man. I just want title defenses. I want him to go up against next in line, which would, I think, hypothetically be Brendan Moreno, who's the #1 contender, right? So I'd like to see
if they keep the 125 division. They always sound like they're trying to scrap it, right?
I mean, after that performance, you kind of got to keep it. I mean, he just proved that he's an absolute force, and he could be a champion for a while. As you know, if I'm Dana White, I'm letting this kid ride out and knock some more people out, But obviously, Dana kind of says one thing, and then another thing can happen. So who knows? But and then obviously, Benavidez, he just got outclassed in there. He's fought for the title, I think, 4 times now. He said he doesn't want to go out like that. I don't know what's next for him. He's just got, I think he's got options, but I don't think he's fighting for a title again.
Yeah, no. With the way he sounded in that interview, it sounds like he just wants one more fight, get a win, and then I think he might be done.
Yeah.
I think he knows that the title isn't in his future, especially. How old is he? I might be thinking that he's older than he is.
He's got to be like 35. Let me see. He's 35. Holy shit. I was right.
Yeah, 35. So, he's kind of getting up there in age. He can't really fight. Not a lot of people fight much longer than that. So, yeah, I just see him getting one more fight, getting a win, and then calling it.
Yeah, I can see that. But, I mean, either way, I think, it's fun watching the flyweights, man, because they're so goddamn fast. And it's like you can't even keep up sometimes. And when you got such a dominating performance like that, I think it definitely helped. And I think Dana White saw that and saw the violence in this kid. And, obviously if he can maintain the weight, keep making weight. And I think he could rack up some title defenses because I agree. I don't see anyone beating him anytime soon. I know he called out Mighty Mouse to come back to the UFC fight there. I don't know. I don't think Cejudo's going to come back anytime soon and cut down to 125. So I think Brandon Moreno is up next. So, but yeah, we have a new flyweight champion. So curious to see what Dana does for this because I'm assuming this could be a quick turnaround for Figgy. I don't even think he, took a punch to the face, to be honest. So I think he's pretty healthy. I think he's ready to go. Hopefully we see that belt defended in the next couple weeks here. So perfect. Obviously, congrats to Figgy on being and new flyweight champion of the world. Great. So let's move on to this weekend's festivities. We have UFC Fight Island number 3. This one, I think overall, I wouldn't say the best card in the world, but it's being headlined by two of the funnest guys in the middleweight division. We have Robert the Reaper Whittaker taking on Darren Till in the main event. I guess before we get into that one, we do have a fun one just because this one's kind of I'm curious to see what's going to happen. We got Fabricio Werdum taking on Alexander Gustafsson at heavyweight. So it's Gus's first fight at heavyweight. How do you think that one plays out, especially with it being Gus's first time at heavyweight there and Werdum's kind of experience in that weight class, coming out of retirement from a year ago. So how do you guys see that one playing out real quick?
I think Gus wins that fight. Just with how Werdum's kind of looked in his past few. But I think Gustafsson's hands are going to be too much for him. He's actually bigger than him. I don't know what he'll come in weighing at, but height, reach, leg reach, he's bigger than Werdum and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, we all know how good Gustafsson's boxing is. I think we're kind of seeing the older Werdum. He's on a little bit of, a skid here. Obviously, back-to-back losses from Alexander Volkov and then Alexei Oleinik, where he lost the fight kind of in those striking exchanges. So I don't think you want to stand up with Gustafsson. We'll see. Maybe Werdum takes it to the ground. But, yeah, I agree. I got Gustafsson here. Zach, what do you got?
Yeah, I think Gustafsson's got solid takedown defense. I mean, really the only person to ever take him down was Cormier at that time. He launched him in the air. That's the only time I can really think of him getting.
Yeah.
So I'd say if he can, I know Verdum's not known for his takedowns, so I think he can fend him off. And if he can just keep him from smothering him, because Verdum's got that, clinch and that Muay Thai style that I think that he could potentially smother Gustafsson, but I think he'll fight him off.
Yeah, no, I agree. Overall, though, I think a fun fight. Curious to see if Gustafsson does win this one, and maybe he makes a little bit of a run here, because obviously, he was, he in everyone's mind. I think for that Jones fight, he had a win over Jones there, man. I think he, and then he came back. He had the rematch with Jones. Obviously, lost convincingly, but he's always been at the top of the light heavyweight division. So curious to see if he makes a run here in heavyweight. So. Keep an eye out for the Mauler, Alexander Gustafsson, Saturday night. And let's just get to the main event because this one's fun as shit. Robert Whittaker, the former middleweight champion, taking on Darren Till, whose second fight at middleweight, and they give you friggin' Robert Whittaker. Obviously, Till coming off of a decision win over Kelvin Gastelum in his last fight. And then we all know, Whittaker, losing his belt, getting knocked out by Israel Adesanya in his last fight. So I'll let you guys take this one away. What do you think about this one? Because this is definitely the #1 contender fight. Let me hear it.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering how Whittaker's going to come back after, getting knocked out like that in his last fight. I thought Till was taller than Whittaker. They're about the same height. But I was thinking, like, if he was jumping in the way he did with Adesanya into his punches and stuff like that, I think that's an avenue for Till to kind of counterpunch. And he hit so hard anyway that, you're taking a risk with him. But I think we'll go with Whittaker for this fight. But I don't know.
It's weird. It's weird to me that middleweight, you always got guys going up in weight and down in weight, but middleweight, a lot of the top guys were all previous welterweights,
Mm-hmm.
So they're both, Till and Whittaker are both at welterweight, so I'm sure they're like the same size.
That's a good point.
But I'm picking Whittaker, man. He's been through, I think, much better competition than Till. I mean, Till fought Gastelum and Woodley, but you fight Yoel Romero twice, and Souza and all the people that Whittaker went through. It's hard to pick against him, man. He's got the experience. I think that he'll come back strong from his last loss.
Yeah, I mean, I said it today, and talking to one of the people on our post, I said, can both of these guys just win? Because I don't want to see either of these guys lose, just because, like, I'm a huge Till fan. But, like, Whittaker, too, he's just such a beast. And it was, like, so heartbreaking seeing him get knocked out in his last – I think we can all agree that was, like, terrifying, like, him just getting friggin' knocked out by Izzy like that. And like Kev said, I'm curious to see how he is going to react to it because, it was such a devastating knockout, losing his belt. Right now he's got pressures on him right now, man. This is Darren Till's second fight at middleweight. He's got really nothing to lose. He's expected to lose this fight. So I really am curious to see. Obviously, if we're talking, mixed martial artists, Whittaker by a mile. I really believe in terms of skill set, Whittaker checks off all the boxes over Darren Till. Darren Till, I think, is a superior striker because of the power he has in his hands, but I think Whittaker can win the fight from anywhere. And like Kev said, I think if Whittaker comes in like he did against Israel and comes forward and tries to pressure, I think, Till could knock him out because he's got that power. But I think Till really, like, we saw it in the Woodley fight, man. Like, he really was kind of hesitant to throw that shot. And then, Woodley kind of knocked him down and then just took advantage of him on the ground. So I don't even know who I can pick in this one. I'm leaning a lot towards Whittaker just because he's more well-rounded. I think, Whittaker wants a shot at his belt again. But how fun of a fight would it be, Israel Adesanya versus Darren Till? I mean, that's a huge fight. Two international superstars going at it. And I think there's been some beef back and forth between those guys. I think that'd be a fun fight, but you can't count out, Whittaker, and you can't count out Till. I think I'm gonna go.
Do you think? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm gonna go. I think Whittaker's not gonna knock out Till. I friggin' believe it. I think he's gonna do it. I think he's gonna come back with a vengeance.
I think that Till's a better matchup for Whittaker than I think he was originally booked against Cannonier, right? Cannonier is a tough dude for anyone to fight. I think he's more dangerous than Till. So it's almost, in a way, I think it's good that they're giving. I'm not saying that Till is a pushover, but I think he is a little bit less dangerous than Cannonier for like a stylistic matchup with Whittaker,
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at Till, and it's like he's got all the hype behind him in the friggin' world, right? I mean, Dana White loves him. He's a Liverpool guy. He's got a humongous fan base behind him.
He's hilarious. Yeah.
And he's a hilarious guy. Him on Instagram and Twitter he's the funniest dude in the UFC by far. And I think you know, they rushed him into that Woodley fight way too fast. I mean, he didn't even throw a punch in the Woodley fight. It's like, I think it's recorded that he did not throw one punch in that fight. And I think he just kind of choked up in the big moments. So I'm curious to see what he can do against a guy that went, you know, 10 rounds with Yoel Romero. You know what I mean? 10 rounds with an absolute savage like that, when Till's the guy that was like, I will never get in the ring with Yoel Romero. So I think it's consensus, Robert Whittaker. Regardless, this is going to be fun. I see this one being a later finish for either guy. We all know Whittaker has a gas tank. Like I just said, he went 10 rounds with Yoel Romero, stuffed Yoel's takedowns. Yoel's one of the best wrestlers, I think, of all time. And, you know, he's got Khabib, then you got Yoel, you got Daniel Cormier, right? But yeah, consensus Whittaker. It's going to be a fun one. Don't miss it. This is a free fight, ladies and gentlemen. These guys don't fight on free TV, but they're doing here. UFC Fight Island 3. Anything else, boys? Any news? Anything like that?
Nah.
All right. Fun, exciting fights coming up. I think, what do we got after this? Oh, shit. What do we got after this? We got our boy Kev's favorite fighter, Holly Holm, taking on Irene Aldana, Saturday, August 1st. That's going to be a fun one to watch. But until next time, Flatline MMA. Peace.